What's going on, everyone? It's Tyler from House of Cards TCG. Yesterday I posted my Dragon Link deck profile. It's my updated profile that I'm playing in a big tournament, online dueling book tournament. So I wanted to go ahead and show you that profile off. But today I'm going to be going in depth. Yesterday was in depth on the cards and what they do and how you can, the different effects work together with the cards that you have in the deck. But today, I'm going to show you the combos that you can go with, because Dragon Link is a very complex deck. I remember when it was really like a year ago, tier 1 meta, and everybody was like, oh, Dragon Link is just summon, 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 negate, 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 and it wasn't really that impactful, or you didn't have to have like big brain to play it. Well, I'm here to tell you, Dragon Link is a very complex deck, and it can be very intimidating to play because there's a lot of interactions with it that you need to know, and you can easily misplay with this deck. So today we're going to do different combos. I'm going to just do a bunch of test hands, kind of show you the different playthroughs on to achieve the board that you want to reach, as well as break boards. So we're going to go dive into this, go over a lot of combos, test hands, in depth on why you should play cards, what combos do what, and kind of do that to help you become a better Dragon Link player. Alright guys, let's get into the combo portion so we can kind of go over Dragon Link, show you a little bit of the lines of play that I see on this deck. I have completed round 1 of the tournament, so I'll be able to post that replay hopefully in the next couple days. Hoping to get round 2 in today so I can show you this deck and the different combo lines. So let's just go ahead and draw 5 cards, and let's just assume that we're going to go first here. So we open Chamber Dragon Maid, which is great. That could be one of our starters. Not their best starter, but it's definitely a starter. Absolrouter, we got Seyfried, and Droll and Lockbird. Okay, so immediately when I'm looking at this line, the first thing that I'm thinking about is obviously Seyfried is going to be our best normal summon. And the reason why I say that is because if we normal summon Seyfried, we can now use its effect, pitch Absolrouter, and search Noctovision Dragon, and then also plus on top of that and get to our Rokket engine. And then that's going to stop us from having to go into Romulus. We could go Romulus, pitch Chaos Dragon, Leviair if we have enough combo in our, but we open 2 hand traps, and then obviously kind of I wouldn't say a dead card, but it is kind of a dead card. It's not an extender per se. So we're not going to go the Romulus play, mostly because this should stop our opponent, and we want to make sure that we have interruptions as well. So we'll start with normal summoning our Seyfried. We're going to activate effect and pitch Absolrouter for cost. And then we're going to be able to search out a level 7 because Absolrouter is a level 7. And that's why I play 2 copies of Absolrouter, because you want to be able to see it in your hand, because it's also an extender. If you open it and have a Rokket, you can then inherently special summon it. But now we search Noctovision off of Seyfried. We're going to be able to get Absolrouter effect. And then Absolrouter effect is then going to search us out our Rokket Tracer. So you can see that one card normal summon with 1 cost, we actually plus 2 on that. So from here, we're going to be able to link off our Seyfried into our Striker Dragon, and we're going to be able to chain block our Striker Dragon by doing Chain Link 1 Striker Dragon and Chain Link 2 Noctovision Dragon. And we're able to do that because this is when a card is Dark Dragon is special summoned, you can actually summon this. So it chain blocks. So we're going to be able to then summon Noctovision Dragon. Striker Dragon is going to be able to search us out our Boot Sector launch. So we're going to, now we definitely have our Rokket engine. So like I said, right here, if you wanted to try to overextend, you could definitely do that. You could go into Romulus and then search the Dragon Ravine, pitch the Chamber Dragon Maid off of Ravine, get that into the grave, and then you could send Chaos Dragon Leviair, and then you could banish Seyfried and add Leviair back to your hand. But at that point, you're going to have to use another card to get to your seal. And we don't want to use our Rokket Tracer to go into seal, and we don't really have another card. So what we'll do here is we'll go into seal with these 2. And of course, it's all going to be based on your Noctovision draw. So I'm just going to play safe here. We're going to summon out seal. And then what we could do is do a Noctovision effect on that. So when it's linked off for link material, you can draw a card. It's just any, I think it's for any dark, I'm pretty sure, or is it just any, if this card is sent to the graveyard as linked material, draw 1 card. So it's just period. If it's sent to the graveyard as linked material. In round 1, I linked off Noctovision for IP and was still able to draw a card. So let's go ahead and draw a card off that. And we actually opened Synchron, which is insane. So now our next line is we're gonna be able to go boot sector launch, activate boot sector launch, bring out tracer, and you can bring out your synchron. And again, you still have 2 hand traps in hand. And then what we're gonna be able to do here is we will go ahead and tracer effect pop boot sector launch. And then that's gonna go ahead and summon out our rocket recharger. And now we've got our whole rocket engine up and running. So we bring out recharger. And pretty much with a Veiler and Droll, depending on your matchup, if it's anything meta, you're going to be able to get your turn off. And you're going to be able to OTK next turn. So we're going to take Tracer and Recharger because Tracer is a tuner. And then we're going to go into Chaos Dragon, or Chaos Ruler, sorry, the chaotic magical dragon. And then we're going to shuffle our deck and we're going to go ahead and mill 5 off of its effect. And then hopefully we have a lot of options that we're looking for. So we already used Ab's effect. We're looking for a chaos space would be great. Tidying would be great. Even if we mill the Leviair, that would be phenomenal. So we're gonna go ahead and mill 5. We hit a Veiler, which is another hand trap. We hit Saferd, which is a light. We hit Ravine, Infinite Impermanence, and a Chaos Space. So this is not too terrible because this provides a lot of follow-up. If we wanted to, we have Chamber Dragon made. We can go ahead and add Saferd, or we could add, you could add Veiler for another hand trap, but I think what I want to add here is a Veiler, just so that I have it for additional follow-up. And then you're just going to go ahead and synchro these off into a hot red. Now you might be thinking, okay, so what do you have here? So you have a Seal Bounce, and you have a hot red negate, as well as a Veiler Droll and another Veiler. So you have basically 5 interruptions here, and your opponent has 6 cards in hand. So Seal's gonna bounce, hot red can negate, 2 Veilers and a Droll, insane interruptions. So if you use Seal, you're gonna bounce a card. Looking at our line right here, you could bring out a Tracer, or you could bring out an Absa Router. Absa Router can then search you a Tracer for follow-up. Or what I would probably do is bring out Black Metal Dragon. Because then if they beat over your Black Metal Dragon, right, now you get the effect of Black Metal Dragon, and that's going to provide additional follow-up by searching your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. And let's say you pitch Droll and you pitch this Veiler here. So those 2 have been used for hand traps. Now you can look at your line. You got Hot Red and still have a Veiler and a Red Eyes Darkness Metal. And then when you go for OTK, you're going to draw for turn, and then it's just insane, right? Now you picked up another Synchron. Normal Summon Synchron effect, you can target a level 5 or higher. So what we could do here is bring out you can bring out Absa Router, you could bring out Knock Division, doesn't really matter. Abs would get you another effect. And then you could, like, immediately from here, take those 2, and you could just keep now extending on. You could go for IP, Knock Division Draw. You have Red Eyes Darkness Metal that you could have used off the Synchron. You could banish it, and then you could special summon another one, as well as you have your Chaos Dragon, which still can come back. So basically, that's your line to go OTK and just to finish the game off. So that was, and it's hard to commentate like your plays and stuff like that, because there's definitely a million lines, and it all depends on what you want to do to beat your opponent. So like, if this was my line here, I'm gonna probably assume, depending on the game, like it could be game 2 or 3, if this was my line and this was my hand, I'm probably gonna go ahead and assume that my opponent has Nib. And so you've already summoned twice here. You wanna try to play around Nib if you can, and I just don't see a line that you could go there. You could get your Chaos Ruler back, and then that's 62 if they don't have any monsters. You just had to get to over 1800 attack, which is easily done if you Rocket Synchron Banish, bring out your Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and then you could just banish the Veiler, and you could just banish an Absa Router would probably be my banish on this, or even Striker Dragon, right? So you could banish Striker Dragon, bring out the Chaos Ruler that I put back, because that was in the grave. And that's game on board, right? 32 plus 28 plus 3,000. On top of that, like, you would get Chaos Space, put your Striker Dragon back, get an extra draw. if you use Noctovision and you link off after, if let's say they block you in battle phase and then you're able to link off from here, you get another draw. So you'll be able to add probably a ton more hand traps to your hand, or you just get Chaos Dragon Levianeer, which is more follow-up in a quick launch. So this is why I love this deck so much, is because if you brick, you can easily get yourself out of bricking, out of that situation, very easily by how much you plus. So let's go do another test hand. We'll do one more going first. I'm trying to see like a different line here. So that was basically Seyfried with Absorrouter in hand combo, which is absolutely insane. I love that because you just can plus so much. All right, so next test hand here. We'll go first again. Set up our board. So Seyfried, Rokket Synchron, there it is. Chaos Space, another Seyfried, and a Droll and Lockbird. Droll loves my hand in this. I think it's because I respect it by meaning it, right? All right, so this is actually insane. So we're going to Chaos Space, pitch our Seyfried, and that's going to be able to search us out our Black Dragon. So you're probably wondering like how we get BROL Savage turn 1. It's just because we haven't opened Chaos Space, I think. That's probably why, right? So we search out our Black Dragon. Now what we could do is we can banish our Seyfried, special summon out our Black Dragon, and we're gonna link Black Dragon off for a Striker Dragon. And then what we could do here is we're gonna get Chainlink 1 Striker, Chainlink 2 Black Dragon Collar Serpent. So Black Dragon's gonna search White Dragon, and then Striker's gonna search Boot. Now we can go ahead and banish our Black Dragon, special out our White. And before you link off into Seal, or if you go into, you could definitely go into Dragon Ravine with Romulus. So what you wanna do here is you wanna activate Chaos Space. You're gonna banish Space. Black Dragon is gonna be put onto the bottom of the deck. It does not get shuffled in. It actually goes to the bottom of the deck. So we're gonna shuffle real quick, cut the deck. So Black Dragon goes on the bottom, and you're gonna go ahead and draw a card off Space, and we actually, it gets insane. So this is cool. Okay, so now what you wanna do is you're gonna link these two off, and you're gonna go for Seal, you can go for Romulus, you definitely have enough extension. The problem is we don't have access to Tracer yet, but we still haven't even normal summoned our Seyfried. So I'm gonna show you how to get around Romulus right now. So we're gonna go for Seal, right? And we could plus a lot off Romulus, but I try not to go into Romulus if I don't have to, because it makes you easily to get hand trapped. It takes away an extender if you go into Romulus, because you have to have a +1 card to then go to Seal. And a lot of times with your Tracer, you want to use Tracer Effect, but it locks you into Dark, so you can't go to Seal after you use Tracer's Effect, right? So what we'll do here is we'll normal summon our Seyfried. Seyfried Effect tribute itself, and that's going to search us out a Rokket Tracer. But of course, sometimes you do have to go into Romulus if you don't have access to your Rokket engine. So we'll search Tracer off of Seyfried. All right, and then what we'll do here is we're gonna go ahead and activate Boot. Boot Effect will then bring out Tracer, Synchron, and then you're gonna chain Noctovision Dragon to special summon itself. Yes, I know, insane. We now have level 8 and level 8, so this is gonna get real good here. We're gonna go ahead and Tracer Effect, pop Boot. That will bring out Recharger. Now here, there's a lot of different lines, right? You could easily go IP with these two guys, get a draw of Noctovision Dragon, and then just make Savage with a Link 1. And then now you have Seal, Savage, IP, and Droll, which is a really good hand. So there's a lot of different plays here. So let's just first go ahead and, I always just, if you can make Chaos Ruler, you make Chaos Ruler, right? So let's make Chaos Ruler with the Tracer and the Recharger. Then we'll activate, oh, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to search. So when White Dragon goes to grave, you still get to search the Black Dragon, Collar Serpent. That's my bad. commentating, right? So even though the search part of this is not once per turn, just the summon. So even though we've already white dragon searched black dragon, you get to do it again, and that's why you chaos space recycle that. I'm glad I caught that before we milled, but just keep that in mind. That's my bad. Sorry, that's getting ahead of myself, right? All right, so now the play here is that what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and mill 5. We hit tidying, another chaos space, an Absa router, a Noctovision, which is good, and a chamber drag. Jeez, you talk about good mills. That is definitely good mills. All right, so you get to add a light or dark to your hand. So now looking at the play, right? We hit this. We can special summon abs. These two can make hot red, and then let me think of the play here. Let me think, because we want to make quad BROL go into the savage here. So I think the proper play, we've already normal summoned. We get chamber effect to summon back. So I think I'm probably just gonna add Noctovision for follow-up next turn, and I'll show you why I think that's what I'm gonna do. You get Absa router's effect, which I'm probably just gonna grab a Synchron here. I like Synchron for the follow-up because then you can bring one back. All right, so what we're gonna do here after that mill is we're gonna go ahead and we can banish tidying, summon chamber. We get chamber effect. Search our Dragon Maid tidying. And now from here, these two can definitely make savage. I'm trying to think how I'm gonna be able to get another rokket out, which you might not be able to do, but at least with those two quad BROL. Actually, this play is good. Okay, so I think the right play here is we're gonna take these two, which is Noctovision Dragon and Synchron. We're gonna make a quad BROL. Then we're gonna activate quad BROL effect. We'll pitch our black dragon, and we're gonna be able to pop itself to now bring back 2. Which what we'll bring back is, yeah, this was the play. We'll bring back Tracer, and we'll bring back Synchron. Now we can link synchro these two. Oh, and also, I'm getting ahead of myself here. When you quad BROL, you use Noctovision effect. We haven't actually used Noctovision effect, so you get another draw, which is a Veiler. Of course it is. It would be another hand trap. So I hope that play made sense. I just had to think about it for 2 seconds. So we made quad BROL with Noctovision and with the Rokket Synchron, which is right here. We use quad BROL effect, and since we milled our chamber, which is a level 4, we can now make our savage and our hot red, right? So quad BROL then pops itself, summons back these 2 rockets, and now you take chamber and Rokket Tracer. You're gonna make savage with those 2. You're gonna use savage effect to then equip your quad BROL for 2 counters. And then you could take these 2 to make your hot red. So now this turn, what are we looking at, right? So this turn we have, you're gonna set the Dragon Maid tidying. So we have plenty of follow-up. We got Synchron, which is gonna bring back like an Absa router and summon Noctovision, or it could bring back anybody, right? So what we have here is we definitely have Savage, negate for 2 counters, Hot Red, which is gonna negate, Seal, which bounces, Tidying, which then can bounce again, and on top of it, we have a Droll and a Veiler. So how does your opponent like play through this? They probably don't. On top of it, you have Chaos Ruler, which is follow-up. When you use your Tidying, you can bring back Chamber on the following turn. You still have another Chaos Space, which is gonna cycle back any card that you banish and be able to draw for turn. So you can see how insane this hand is right here. So cool, I'm happy that I got to show you kind of like a little bit full combo, what dragons can do. But now let's build a going second OTK board, because that's what you want to do with dragons. You just want to OTK. All right, so we're gonna go second. Okay. So we'll draw 6 cards, obviously, going second. We got Tracer, Rokket Synchron, Starlight Seaford, Chaos Space, another Tracer, and an Octavision Dragon. So all gas, which is surprising because we run 12 hand traps. But obviously not ideal, but you have a lot of extenders depending on the board that you're facing. So let's just go ahead and start off with a Chaos Space. Looking at the Chaos Space, if I need to, I probably want to save my normal summon in case I get hand trapped, or if this gets ashed or this gets negated, which it probably is going to get negated if you're going second and they built a board. So basically, since you already have a Tracer, we could just pitch a Tracer, get that to the grave, and then they're probably going to ash that, right? So you just eat that. But then you have Saferd on the follow-up, activate Saferd effect, which then can search you your Black Dragon. And again, it's hard to build going second without knowing what you're facing, what hand traps and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do the best that I can. Obviously, comment, let me know if you have any questions. I can definitely help you out there. So here, you could honestly probably get away with banishing your Saferd here, as much as I hate doing that, to summon your Black Dragon. And like I said, all depends on the play. You're gonna save your Nocto for sure. I think you're gonna save your Nocto because when you link off your Black Dragon for your Striker Dragon, you can chain block, right? So you're gonna chain link 1 Striker, chain link 2 Noctovision. Striker effect will then resolve, and you get your Black Dragon when you link it off for Striker. I should mention that. Getting ahead of myself again. So White Dragon, search off Black Dragon. Striker effect, you're gonna search out Boot. Okay? So from here, we're gonna be able to link these two off, and you're probably thinking, what should we link them off for going second? It all depends, right? So like you can look at the plays, you can definitely make your seal in case you get nibbed, but if they have a board, they may not nib you. You can make your IP, you can make Romulus at this point. So you could probably go Romulus because we're just looking to link climb. So Romulus effect is, you're gonna get Nocto 2. I would probably go, Ravine isn't like that insane, right? So and you have extenders, so let's just, I don't want to draw it, so let's just go Nocto 1, Romulus 2, only because I just don't want to draw the Ravine. And it's unfortunately happened to me enough times where I think about that and I do it. So now we're gonna get our Nocto draw, and we hit Chaos Space, which is fine. Okay, so looking at this hand, so we can still further extend, obviously, with our Black Dragon. So let's just go ahead and do that. Or White Dragon. So we're going to banish. Actually, to be honest with you, I think I'm going to banish Striker here. And then what I'm going to do is summon White Dragon. And then we'll just Chaos Space effect, shuffle back our Striker Dragon, and draw another card. We hit Imperm. That would have been nice. That's why I'm thinking about, actually in my side deck, I forgot to mention this, in the profile, I actually have 2 Chalices. So if I'm going second, I'm probably gonna put in Chalice, just because you can still activate it on your turn, whereas Imperm's kind of dead going second. It's not dead if you don't have a board, but having a board, obviously, and drawing into it. So I actually have Chalice in the side deck of this deck for that reason. All right, so now we're just basically gonna try to go into a link climb. A lot of different ways you can do this. You obviously have Boot to summon Tracer and Synchron. You have a level 4 here. If you don't need to make Seal because you know that you're not going to get hit with the Nib because they have a board, they don't want to tribute, etc., you could probably just go ahead and link those 2 off and bait a negate, or just keep going, keep rolling, go straight into a Unicorn. Activate Unicorn effect. You can pitch your Chaos Space at this point, right? So they may negate it, they may do whatever, but then on the follow-up, you still have your Boot Sector, summon out these 2 guys. You still have Ravine, of course, so then you could Tracer effect, pop your Boot. That's gonna allow you to summon. Bring out our Rokket Recharger. You can still make these 2 here, which is your Tracer and your Recharger. Go for the Chaos Ruler if you need to. Then you could activate Chaos Ruler effect. I don't know if we searched or not, but we'll just mill. So we mill a Synchron, a Levy, that's it. It's game. Red Eyes Darkness Metal is also really good, but I don't think we have a Saferd Engrave, and we want Levy for sure. So you hit your Levy. These get milled to the grave. And then from here, you can obviously go straight into a Hot Red. Now you've provided yourself a negate if you need to negate something on the field, as well as you have levy. So with levy, it's entirely up to you, but all you need is one light, which we have one. So we have one light, you have your black dragon here, and then basically you could banish anything at that point. Let's not hit Red Eyes MD. Sometimes that comes up. Do we have another Synchron? We do, so we'll banish a Synchron. So basically what you're doing here is you're banishing a light and dark, and that summons Levy to now pop 2. It's non-targeting. So you just destroy 2 cards on the field, which is insane, right? And you still have, again, more follow-up. So you can't attack when you use that effect, but you can then link those off, go for your access code, gain the attack. And on top of it, if that's not enough, you can still bring back your Chaos Ruler. Except that I don't think we have another light. We do not have another light, so you can't do that. But you got 53 and 32, as well as still have Ravine. Ravine can, at that point, let me just show you, right? So now you can Ravine, pitch your Imperm. Ravine just sends a dragon. All we gotta do is send a Safer. This provides another light for your Chaos Ruler. Or you can use your Safer to then bring back your Levy, add your Levy to hand, and be able to attack with that. So just banish Safer, add Chaos Dragon Leviair if you want, or you can banish Safer and just banish Red Eyes Darkness Metal, bring out your Chaos Ruler. So basically 53, 3,000. You're either gonna get 3,000 with your Levy or your Chaos Ruler, and 3,200 with Hot Red, as well as you got 1 pop here, 2 pops here. So 2 pops with access code. You had 2 pops with Chaos Dragon. You had a lot of different ways to extend and get through this. So that's kind of a going second OTK board. So I hope everybody enjoyed this. I hope you got a lot of value from this. Probably not the best Dragon player in the world, but you know what? I hope you enjoyed it. So this has been Tyler, House of Cards TCG. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions or any comments or anything like that. I definitely take constructive criticism. So let me know. And can't wait to show you guys my duels with this, which is in the big tournament that I'm playing in. So I appreciate everyone, and I hope everyone has a great day and happy holidays.